Hello students, welcome to all of you. I hope you all are studying in a very good position, and in my previous lecture you have studied one very important theory that is related to structure of the atom, namely Bohr's atomic model or Bohr's atomic theory. So there were many postulates were taught along with what is the Bohr's radius formula and what is the Bohr's energy formula for the finding of related radius and Bohr's energy. Children's, these formulas concerned to Bohr and Bohr postulate is very important. So must try to remember it. And if any doubt, without any hesitation, ask me. These are the key points for the study of this chapter. So must remember the postulates and the formulas which I taught, that is what is Bohr's radius formula and what is Bohr's energy formula. So must remember them. And in today's lecture we will study one more important point of the same chapter called Schrodinger's wave equation. And this equation provides many more information about the atom. And this Schrodinger wave equation gave a important relationship between the mass of electron, between the what is the energy of electron, what is the potential energy of the electron, what is the Planck constant, and a new point, there is added wave function also called eigenfunction. So what it is, I will just discuss with you in detail, termed Schrodinger's wave equation. But before going ahead, I would like to discuss with you one question raised by a student that repeat the property of neutrons and why the discovery of neutron is termed artificial method. So children, reason behind this for artificial is that in previous sections you have studied in detail that the conversion of one element into the another element by the bombardment of light particles, and the light particles may be photon, means containing almost all light particles. They may be electron, they may be proton, they may be neutron, they may be positron, they may be neutrino, they may be meson, they may be alpha particle, they may be beta particle, and maybe gamma particle. So by bombarding these particles, the conversion of one element into another element is termed transmutation. Transmutation. And the transmutation means what? It is the conversion of one element into the another element by the bombardment of lightest particles is called transmutation. And here one element is going to change into another by the bombardment of particle. So this is also termed artificial transmutation. Artificial transmutation. This is the meaning. In the discovery of neutron, what was happened? That is a thin beryllium foil was bombarded by alpha particles, and there is a formation of, that is, new element carbon, and neutron was formed like H. That is beryllium 4Be9 bombarded with alpha particle. This is alpha particle, and this is a beryllium thin foil of beryllium metal. So there is a conversion. This is beryllium going to convert into a new element. This is the main point of this transmutation or artificial. That is going to convert into new element, that is carbon is formed. Here was beryllium. Beryllium, and this is carbon. And along with carbon, a lightest particle, neutron is formed having zero charge or having no charge, and that is electrically neutral, and the mass of this neutron is approximately equal to the mass of proton, and it is a highly penetrating particle called neutron, which is present in the nucleus of the atom along with protons. Okay, so this method of conversion of one element into another element is artificially takes place by the bombardment of such like particles termed transmutation or artificial, and a lightest particle neutron is formed. Watch. So in this what is happening in the second example, beryllium is bombarded with suppose a proton. This 1H1 represents proton. Okay, suppose bombarded with proton gets converted into new element, that is boron, and neutron is formed. Another example, suppose lithium is bombarded with deuterium. 1D2 refers to deuterium. This is deuterium. It is the isotope of hydrogen. Protium, proton, deuterium, tritium, as you are knowing, are the isotopes of hydrogen. So here 1D2 deuterium is bombarded with lithium element, then going to convert into beryllium new element, and neutron is formed here. And another example, suppose you are taking nitrogen elements, and in place of alpha, in place of protium or proton, in place of deuterium, we are using here lightest particle for bombardment is a neutron. Here suppose we are selecting neutron for the bombardment over nitrogen, then a new element boron is formed, and there is a expulsion of lightest particle called alpha particle. So here alpha particle is emitted and new element boron is formed. So this type of conversion of one element into another element by the bombardment of small particles is termed transmutation or artificial transmutation, or you can say they also comes under the category of artificial radioactivity. Alright? Must remember, but one thing must be noted, that such type of reactions are also termed nuclear reactions. They are also called nuclear reactions. In these nuclear reactions, one thing should be noticed, that the mass of neutrons are the mass number of the elements which are taking part along with the lightest particle should be equal to the mass of the particles which are present in product site, and as is similar in the case of atomic number also. Meaning of this point is what? Suppose beryllium mass number is 9 and this alpha particle mass number is 4. So summing these two, this value is coming 13, and here also 12 plus 1 13. So they are that is 13 in both the sides. The value of mass number is equal, and similarly their atomic number will be also the same in both the sides. So here 4 plus 2, 4 of beryllium and 2 of this helium, 6, and there is also 6 plus 0, 6. They are obeying the fact. In the same way, suppose here 7 and 14 is written, so and neutron gets bombarded. So mass of nitrogen is a 14, mass of neutron is 1, so 14 plus 1, 15 in the reactant side. So 15 should be in product side. So here come children, 5b 11. So 11 and helium is 4. So 11 plus 4 is 15. So 15 in the reactant side and 15 is the mass in product side. Both are equal. Similarly, the atomic number in both the sides should be equal. Here 7 plus 0, 7 of nitrogen and 0 of this neutron. So 7 plus 0 is 0 and 5 plus 2, 7. So in both, that is atomic number, the rated value which is just below the element, and mass number are if the same in both the sides, then the nuclear reaction is said to be balanced and transmutation or artificial transmutation will take place. Point is clear now? So must remember these points. Now I coming on the main point, main topic. What are the properties of the neutron? So first property of neutron is that neutron is a chargeless or neutral particle. It has no charge. Second point is it is a highly penetrating particle. This neutron is a highly penetrating particle. And third property you can say that neutron doesn't ionize the gases. And one more property you can say that this neutron is generally originated from a cosmic rays in a universe. These neutrons are originated, are emanated from the cosmic rays which comes from a universe. So these are the some important properties of neutron. But children, one thing I want to share with you, those students which are running on fake ID or false or fraud ID must change it, be in real, otherwise your raised questions, the question which you will raise will be ignored. Must remember children. So from now, everyone be in your original ID. What is the need of fraudness? What is the need of fake? What is the need of false? No matter. If I am real, you my students are real, then what is the need of fraudness? Or what is the need of fake? So be real and you are knowing that. सिंपल सी चीज मैं बता रहा हूँ बेटा, क्या सन को किसी जो है आईडी की जरूरत है, फेक आईडी की? क्या मून को किसी फेक आईडी की जरूरत है? वो अपने कैरेक्टरिस्टिक के लिए जाने जाते हैं। क्या किसी टाइगर या लायन के को जो है फेक आईडी की जरूरत है? अपने वो कैरेक्टर के लिए फेमस है। क्या जो रोज फ्लावर है, क्या उसको किसी फेक या फ्रॉड या फॉल्स की जरूरत है? वो अपने जो है खुशबू या सुगंध के लिए जाना जाता है। तो क्या वो फेक आईडी बना करके जो अपने अस्तित्व को बचा सकता है? So children, be careful, and I now hope that you are understand my point. So be in real and keep your original ID. Okay? So now come on the topic. We are just going to study Schrodinger wave equation. So before discussing this point, I would like to tell you what is the limitations or drawbacks of Bohr's atomic theory. So listen carefully. The main drawbacks or main limitations of Bohr's atomic theory is what? So first drawback of this theory is the Bohr's atomic model was completely unable to explain the spectrum of atoms other than hydrogen. And second drawback, the Bohr's atomic model was also unable to explain the shape of the molecules which are formed by the combination of atoms. And next drawback is a very important drawback. The Bohr's atomic model was unable to explain some prestigious effects called Zeeman effect and Stark effect. The third point is, this Bohr's atomic model was unable to explain, that is Zeeman's effect, or sometime this is also known as Stark effect. So these two effects were also not being clearly explained by Bohr atomic model. So what is Zeeman effect and what is Stark effect? So listen carefully. The Zeeman effect is what, and Stark effect is what, how they are differing. So come on the first effect, Zeeman effect. So children, when emitting radiations are subjected under the influence of either magnetic field or electric field, okay, so they get split. Each spectrum lines of that splits into several lines. So the splitting of these spectral lines under the influence of magnetic field is called Zeeman's effect, while the splitting of spectral lines under the influence of electric field is called Stokes effect. Once again I revising this point. Zeeman effect arises due to the splitting of spectral lines under the influence of magnetic field. Then Zeeman effect arises. While the splitting of spectral lines under the influence of electric field, then Stark effect arises. This is the simple difference between Zeeman and Stark, and this effect were not clearly explained by Bohr's atomic model. One point here is coming, spectrum or spectrum lines. What is this? So children, spectrum, simply you can say that spectrum is what? It is the splitting of or spreading of white light. That is, I am going to tell what is the definition of spectrum or what is spectrum. So spreading of white light into different color bands or into a series of color bands is called spectrum. Listen once again. The spreading of white light into a series of color bands is called spectrum. Or more significantly, you can say that electromagnetic spectrum is the arrangement of electromagnetic radiations in order of increasing wavelength or decreasing frequency, called spectrum or electromagnetic spectrum. For example, you have heard the 7 colors in that order simply called Vibgyor. They are written in the increasing order of, that is, wavelength, and that is decreasing order of frequency. Means the wavelength of red color is the longest and the wavelength of violet is the least. And just in the reference of frequency, the frequency of violet is longest while the frequency of red is the least. This is the meaning. And one could that can spectrum you observe generally in the rainy season. You have seen in rainy seasons formation of a rainbow in the sky. So what happens there in the rainbow formation? There is what happening means there is a white light is going to spread into a series of color bands. That's why forming a rainbow is formation, and that is a one kind of spectrum. Okay, so this is all about drawbacks, limitation of Bohr atomic model. Now came on the main point, that is Schrodinger's wave equation. So this Erwin-Schrödinger wave equation is very important in respect of structure of the atom. One point is written here, wave function. So wave function is also termed eigenfunction. Eigenfunction, it is represented by symbol psi. This one is represented by symbol psi, and this is of very much importance. It provides many information which were not provided either by Thomson model, either by Rutherford, or by Bohr model, or by Sommerfeld model. Everything is hidden in this eigenfunction or wave function termed psi. Means psi provide all the information related to atom. That is, what is the shape of the atom, what is the shape of the orbital, what will be the cell of the atom, what will be the subcell of the atom, and what will be their energy, and these all the things were represented by, can be represented by this eigenfunction or wave function psi. And in the reference of psi, Erwin Schrödinger provided a equation in a three-dimensional space, means in the respect of three coordinates axis, that is x, y, z, and gave a relation or provided a relation between mass of electron, Planck constant, total energy, potential energy, and along with three coordinate axes x, y, z, and that is termed Schrödinger wave equation. Mathematically, this wave function psi is given equal to a sine 2 pi x by lambda, where a is the amplitude, a refers to maximum amplitude, that is x is the displacement, x represents the displacement, and lambda is the wavelength. Lambda is the wavelength. So in this formula, psi is the eigenfunction or integer function or wave function. A is the maximum amplitude, x is the displacement, and lambda is the wavelength, and sine is a trigonometric ratio. Okay. So children, on differentiation you will get a mathematical expression concerned to Schrödinger wave equation, and that may be written as you are knowing that in mathematics, differentiation and integration are two mathematical calculations which makes the calculation easier, and differentiation is generally represented by ddx, while integration is represented by symbol this one. So this is termed differentiation. Word is differentiation, and this term is symbol integration. Must know these points. For example, you are knowing that ddx of x to the power n is nx to the power n minus 1. Generally use the formula. And similarly, integral of suppose x n dx is what? X to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So these are the some general formula, basic formulas for the calculation of differentiation and integration. So just we are going to apply here differentiation. So when differentiation take place, this will convert into, that is d square psi upon dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square e minus u psi, that is equal to 0. And that is called one-dimensional Schrodinger wave equation. One-dimensional means it is only given in the reference of coordinate x. Okay? And if it is represented in three coordinates, that is x, y and z, then this equation turned into this equation like as, that is d square psi, psi is the wave function, d square psi dx square plus d square psi dy square plus d square psi dz square plus, that is 8 pi square m by h square e minus u psi total equal to 0, where x, y and z representing the three coordinates of the axis. Psi is the eigenfunction or wave function which determines shape or size, or that is that is the position of electron. That also determines particle nature or wave nature of electrons. So many more things are determined by this psi. And what the value of this m and h? In this formula, m refers to the mass of electron, h is as usual, it is a Planck's constant having value 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule-second. E is the total energy. E stands for total energy. U stands for potential energy. U is the potential energy, and that is psi is the eigen or wave function. So children, this formula is called Schrodinger wave equation, and according to the name wave, this clearly signifies that or implies that a smallest particle like photons, and photons containing electron, proton, neutrons like the smallest particle, they possess particle as well as wave character, means they possess dual character. So main aspect of this equation is that there is discovery of particle, discovery of a small particle in the form of wave and as well as particle. So in next lecture we will study about dual nature of particle or dual nature of electron given by Louis de Broglie. So must remember children, these are the main points today. So that's all. Thank you very much.